In this video, we are going to discuss about instruction execution and straight line sequencing. What actually straight line sequencing? Initially, the address of the first instruction is loaded into the program counter. Then the processor control circuit use the information in the program counter to fetch and execute the instruction one at a time. Okay, in order of increasing the addresses. This is going to be called as a straight line sequencing. Let us see about this, how actually it's going to do. So before to that, we have to specify, or we have to assume that one memory operand per instructions, and the word length should be a 32-bit, and always the memory has to be byte addressable, and it must have a full memory address can be directly specified in a single word instruction. Usually what happens, if you're going to see about that, during the execution of each instruction, the program counter is incremented by 4 to point to the next instruction. Actually, there are two phases of instruction execution. One is going to be called as fetch instruction. One is called as execute instruction, or fetch phase or execute phase. Two different phases are going to be there. In the fetch phase, the instruction is fetched from the memory location and placed in the instruction register IR. Whereas in the execute phase, the content of the instruction register IR is examined to determine which operation is to be performed. The specified operation is then performed by the processor. If you're going to see about a small example in this diagram which have been shown over here, so always it's going to start the address with I, and it consisting of some data as move a comma r0. What is the operation indicates that? It's going to fetch the data, and the fetching move a comma r0. During that time, the content of r0 is going to be fetched, and what has to be done over there? Move is nothing but the execution. So it has to transfer the data from r0 to location A to r0. Then second one, it's going to be pointing out towards the second instruction called as I plus 4. Then it's going to take add B r0. Then move r0 C, like this goes on over there. Okay, such a way it's going to be executing the particular instructions. Let us see about a branching instruction. I'm going to explain this. Consider the program for adding a list of n numbers. The address of the memory location containing the n numbers are symbolically represented as num1, num2, num3, like that up to num_n. Separate add instruction is used to add each number of the content of the register R0. For example, first move num1, R0. Then next we are going to use add num2 to R0, add num3 to R0, add num4 to R0. Like that goes on up to num_n, R0. So separate add instruction is used to add each number of the content of the register R0. After all the number have been added, the result is going to be stored in the location sum, SUM sum. The sum location is going to be somewhere, it's going to be present over there. Okay, we are going to do move R0, sum. Then what happened? The addition data of all numbers will be moved to the location sum, where the sum is going to be located. There the data are going to be present over there. This is going to be called as straight line programming for adding n numbers in the branching instruction. Let us see one more example here. Number of entries in the list n is stored in the memory location n. Okay, so number of entries in the list n is stored in the memory location n, whereas register R1 is used as a counter to determine the number of times the loop is executed. So content loaded in n is loaded into the register R1 at the beginning of the program. Okay, so I am going to use instruction move n, R1. Now the loop is straight line sequencing of instruction executed as many times as needed. The loop starts always at a location loop, LOOP loop. Here it's going to start and ends with the instruction, whereas the branch is going to be greater than 0. Okay, during each pass, what happened? Address of the next list entry is determined, and that entry is fetched and added to R0. Okay, so here the instruction decrement R1 is going to be reducing the content of R1 by 1 each time through the loop is going to be executed over there. Okay, such a way then branch instruction loads a new value into the program counter. As a result, the processor fetches and executes the instruction at this new address that is going to be called as branch target. That is going to be called as branch target. Okay, so this is going to be the branch target up to the loop. Once it's going to be completed, what happens? A conditional branch causes a branch. The conditional branch we are given over. Okay, branch is greater than 0. When the branch is going to be less than 0, obviously it's going to be entered into the loop. When the condition is going to be failed, what happens? A branch condition instruction causes a branch only if the specific condition is going to be get satisfied. If the condition is not satisfied, the program counter incremented it's in the normal way, and the next instruction, what is the next instruction? Move R0 comma sum. That is going to be get sequential address order is fetched and executed. Okay, that is going to be called as a branching. Another example of this branching. It's a loop to add n number of data. Using a loop, we are going to add a n number of data over here.